Good afternoon. Welcome on this Monday afternoon to Crawled and the Bansters. Hope you're all well. We've got some big breaking news coming at us, and that's why we've got the legend Tony Rolfe, Chelsea SW6. We are also live on Tony Rolfe's Chelsea SW6, Chelsea's YouTube channel, and also his Facebook channel. If everyone, please, any of our Crawled and the Banster followers that ain't following Mr. Tony Rolfe, please go over, do me a favor, go over and give him a follow on Facebook and YouTube, and also any followers of Tony Rolfe's Chelsea FW6. We'd also appreciate if you can come and follow us too. We're going to be doing a lot of work with each other, and we're going to help each other out. So if everyone can follow us on YouTube and Facebook, go like and follow everything, it'd be brilliant. Tony, how you doing, mate? I hope you're well.
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you very much, Terry. Thanks for the invite as well, buddy. Much appreciated.
Not a problem. Obviously, I think everybody knows why we're here, Tone, but I will just get it up on the screen, mate, just so that everyone knows what we're talking about in case anyone ain't seen the news. And that is obviously Chelsea have sacked Frank Lampard. It looks like Thomas Tuchel will be coming in to replace him. But firstly, let's not worry about Thomas Tuchel. Let's break down the news quickly because we haven't got a lot of time. I know you're a very busy man, Tone, but I wanted to get your reactions, mate. What is your reactions on Frank Lampard getting the sack, mate?
Well, it's a very sad day. You have to say, it was always, no matter when it was going to come, it was always going to be a very sad day, purely and simply because it is who it is and it's Frank. And as I said, I've said this on numerous occasions. We, as a football club, had almost created our own Arsene Wenger situation as far as the fan base is concerned, because it's always going to split people. This one, it's a very emotive one because he is such an iconic personality, and he's part of the framework of Chelsea Football Club. And you can see that today with the very, very fact that Roman Abramovich put out a statement himself, and he doesn't do that sort of thing, Terry. And that shows you the measure of the man and how important he is in terms of what he is for Chelsea. So I would say, as far as I'm concerned today, it's a very sad day because of how it's all happened. But you have to say it's a little bit what I would call bittersweet, more heading towards the bitter than the sweet. But there are quite a large amount of our fan base that obviously it's the form and everything else not good, and clearly there was something not quite right. I don't think so, especially when he was on such an incredible run. Then to go on the complete opposite, we're talking chalk and cheese, really. We started off like a freight train, didn't we? Playing some delicious football, smashing teams, and really playing some good stuff. And on an unbeaten run, I mean, it was 14 games unbeaten. And then, we just kind of self imploded with not easy games, I have to say. When you've got a run in of Everton away, Wolves away, Arsenal away, I don't care. You can play Arsenal, they can be bottom of the league and lose every game. But it's Arsenal, and they're always going to play against Chelsea because it's the London derby, two biggest London clubs. So therefore, you're always going to get a tune out of those Arsenal players on that particular day. I thought it was scandalous the way we approached that particular game. It was unlucky against Wolves because we lost in the last second to that game. And rather unlucky also, you could say, against them. We hit the post a couple of times, but it wasn't good enough. We were playing within ourselves. We got shamed by Manchester City, just put to the sword, really, outclassed on the day. And a lot of our supporters are going to be happy because we, by all accounts now, Thomas Tuchel's coming in. He's a good manager, a good tactician. And he's a bit of a cross between what I would call a Maurizio Sarri stroke Jurgen Klopp. He's got that German sort of proactive affluence on his players. He's which is something actually I was a little bit self-critical about Frank. I didn't think he was a kind of like a man motivator. I don't want to be sounding too critical, but one of those sort of players, that managers that puts his arm around his players and gets the best out of him in other ways, that Emery Redknapp, Jose Mourinho type. So he's very studious, wasn't he? Very that type of a man, a sort of a thinking person. And so we've got a good manager that's coming in. It fits in a lot of respects as well because Christian Pulisic played for him when he was at Dortmund. In fact, he was the last manager to win something for Borussia Dortmund in Germany. And Christian Pulisic obviously is very, very fond of him. And then, of course, you've got the Thiago Silva angle when he was manager at Paris. And of course, I would imagine the two Germans be happy with a German translated. Not that they don't speak good English, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's more familiar surroundings. And we certainly haven't got the best out of those two players. And they were two players specifically brought in to make a difference. And if you look at their body language, something's not right about those two. So, from that respect, it's positive. And I understand he's going to be on the bench on Wednesday. So, whether he will be actually announced as our manager or not. But and I think he was interviewed before, and I think Maria Gamiskaya was very impressed with him. You know, before he took the Paris job on. I think.
Yeah.
I think I think he's had an interview with us, or at least one of them ones where they've had a face to face. But this decision today tells me a lot, Terry. It tells me a lot that this decision was made way before this cup game against Luton. It was
Yeah.
irrelevant what happened against Luton in terms of the decision they made. It was crystal clear. And so I'm sad because it's Frank Lampard, and as I say, nothing will ever take away from what he gave us, what he is as a man, as a Chelsea. He's John Terry, and those two epitomise us as a football club. But you have to say it feels a bit like the when Jose Mourinho left for the first time. We really felt quite flat with it all. You know what I mean? So it does feel flat. I've got to tell you, it does feel. And there's some of our supporters are saying, well, you've got what you've wanted now, and so there's a little bit of poison in the air, and we've got to stop that because no man's bigger than the club. It's all about Chelsea FC, and us as supporters, we need to reflect that, in the whole situation, So yeah, it's sad, but it's life, mate. It's life.
We've got a couple of comments here, and I totally agree with them. To be honest, Dave Stevens has put Chelsea wouldn't be the club they are today without Lamps. I think he deserves more time. Disappointing, and
Yeah.
Max Onley has put the fact that some of our fans rating Lampard being sacked is a disgrace. I appreciate my club, whether we're winning stuff or not, and I don't care what anyone says. It's ridiculous. For me,
Well,
go on, Tone. Sorry, go on, mate.
No, sorry, buddy. I was rude to butt in then. So you carry on. You know what I mean?
No,
Sorry.
I was going to give my point of view quickly. Obviously, obviously, as you know, a massive Arsenal fan and things like that. Look, for me, I think this is a bad decision on Chelsea's behalf. The reason why I say that, I mean, obviously, obviously the club is bigger than any man or any manager. But as you just said, he's Chelsea through and through. He's won like John Terry and things like that. He came in at a time when obviously you had that transfer embargo and really a lot of other managers didn't want to take the job at that time, Tone, because obviously they knew they couldn't rebuild or get their players in. So, he took the job. He done a great thing with your club. Do you know what I mean? Bringing the youngsters through and things like that. This year, obviously, he's got a few players in. They haven't, let's be honest, they haven't settled in yet. They haven't gelled with each other. You know what I mean? A lot of people, I mean, just give you an example, a lot of people say that, if you've got an experienced manager, then that manager will be able to input that into the player before they get on that pitch. I mean, if you look at Werner this season so far, how many open goals has he missed? If you know what I mean, he's missed a few open goals. I mean, that's not down to Frank. You know what I mean? That's down to the player himself, and the players have to look at themselves. Once they cross that white line, Tone, the players have to look at themselves. Obviously, on the training pitch, Frank can put his ideas on, tell them what to do, and all that. But once they cross that line, it's down to them players to help their manager out. And unfortunately, it's just not happened at the moment. I think personally, you know what I mean? Me personally, I think they've done it too soon, Tone. That's just my own opinion.
I think out of respect for the man, we should have given him to the end of the season. But I'm going to say a few things. And what you've got to remember is this is Chelsea, right? And we're not Arsenal, as Lee Gunner has pointed out on many occasions. Um, when he's talking about your manager, I know obviously you're a sort of an Arteta in, he's an Arteta out, and all that sort of thing. But we got rid of Carlo Ancelotti in the in the tunnel the season after we won our first double. We got rid of Roberto Di Matteo after he won us the Champions League Cup double. Actually, he won us the cup that year, and we won. And I'm not blowing my own trumpet here, but 25 trophies in 25 years. That's, you've got to put that into perspective here. That's not getting to finals and losing or finishing runners up. 25 trophies bagged, won in 25 years. You do that by being ruthless and making an air. And he is relentless. When he puts things in place, he wants to succeed. Now, I imagine this must have cut into ribbons, this one, because Frank's been part of his life too, you know what I mean? And I think just because it is Frank Lampard, he should have had that little bit of respect till the end of the season. However, this is Chelsea, and we don't act like other clubs. Like, for example, Arteta will get that period of time. That's the way you move, and that's the way you roll. And those celebrating that are Arsenal supporters about this, you want to be careful what you're celebrating, because this is no mug coming in. Tuchel's a good tactician, and if those same people that are probably celebrating probably thought that Lampard was a bit of a rookie in terms of, which he was, to be fair. And now you have someone like Tuchel coming in, let's assume that it's him, a man with a wealth of experience that's managed the best players in the world. And if he makes us better, then that's not exactly good news for Arsenal, is it? So you've got to be careful. You've got to be careful what you wish for. But if I was to be ever totally critical about Frank, yeah, you are absolutely right. He brought the kids in. We lost our best player, Eden Hazard. He had a very difficult job, and he done incredibly well last year. Probably he overachieved. Let's be fair. No one expects us to be in the top four, and we got to a cup final. All right, we lost that to you, but I think what he has done is he's chopped and changed too many times. I think defensively we've not really learned our lesson. We started out doing that ridiculous, where we're sort of marking no one from free kicks and corners. You know what I mean? Just marking, not zonal marking, and then we chopped and changed. You could argue that you have to stick with. I mean, a lot of people when they quote. Conte, right? When we went on that incredible run after defeating your place, people forget that we had a very, very steady side, and I actually think that this is possibly the worst Chelsea side in 20 years that he's got. Even though we've got some fantastic players and some fantastic talent, a lot of youngsters, so there's a lot of years ahead of them all. I think that this is possibly the worst Chelsea side for 20 years. It's certainly not a team with 6 or 7 superstars in it, which we have had in the past, as indeed you have. So, maybe it's come a little bit too soon, but then the opportunity was there. He obviously was going to grab it. He loves Chelsea. We love him. Perfect fit and all that. So, yeah, it's very sad, not because it's Frank Lampard. We all love Frank Lampard. I mean, how many supporters do you know that will celebrate a player scoring for the opposite side? Yeah. I was there at Man City that day, and I'll tell you now, it was the most incredible but weird feeling. We all sat on the coach, sat there like numb, like statues, thinking what has gone on there, but there we were, applauding Frank because he's our Frank, So yeah, it's very sad, and we're going to get a good manager that's going to come in, and we'll see what happens next. Never a dull moment at Chelsea, mate.
A good question here, Tone, is from Daniel. He says, "I fear now is my fear now is that Billy Gilmore he won't even get a look in there." I mean, obviously you've
Well,
tackled.
that's crazy.
Are you fearful of that, or do you think he will give him a chance, or what? I mean, what? I mean,
I've read in the lot. Go on.
no. All I was going to say is, Tone. I mean, give us your thoughts now. I mean, obviously, you've touched on Frank, and obviously, it's a very, very hard situation because obviously of the stature he's got at the club. Obviously, one of the best
Well,
players that you've had at Chelsea and things like that. Do you know what I mean? So, but let's move on from that just for a minute. Let's go to obviously Tuchel, who looks like he's coming in. I mean, do you think he's the right man? Do you think that he can change the season round, or how much time are you willing to give him? If it don't happen and you don't reach top four, do you sack him again, or what? What's your thoughts on it, Tone?
well, never say never. This is Chelsea. Look, I think at the end of the day, right, this particular season is like no other season, unless we have another year of complete lockdowns, when none of us go out and enjoy life and enjoy fun. That's the word, isn't it? It's been taken away from all of us. Fun, yeah. This has been an incredible season, and it's why we're seeing all these ridiculous results happening. Liverpool getting
Yeah,
smacked for 7, and Man United out of nowhere. And all you've got to do, Terry, as you've proven recently, is whack 3 or 4 wins together,
exactly.
and all of a
Yeah,
sudden you're in that top 4 position, possibly challenging. Yeah, well, I was looking at us right now, thinking, well, we've lost 5 out of the last 6. Is that right? 5 out of the last 6. And I
yeah,
was thinking, do you know what? If we won the next 5 out of the next 6, all of a sudden we could be in that top 3 and all Chelsea are involved in the title race. Because let's be honest, it was only 2 months ago when people were talking us being title contenders. So
exactly,
this is the
exactly.
madness of this season. So you can't rule anything out, Terry. Yeah. As far as Billy Gilmore's concerned, you'd have to be. I mean, well, I've read in the last 2 3 weeks possibly even getting sent out on loan, and that's with Frank. Um, don't forget, we've just got rid of Tamore to AC, but I think that's another loan player as well. But um, no, Billy Gilmore's absolute quality. He's class, absolute class, and you'd be mad not to. He's a perfect replacement in the for him with Angola. I don't know. He seems like he's got all the time in the world. We'd be mad to loan him out. Mad.
Mm.
He should be part of our
Yeah,
squad. All the
exactly. No,
time. So yeah. Well, you can't say, can you? Tuchel might come in and go, well, we'll loan him out.
Oh, I don't know what's happened to Tony there. Hopefully, he will come back and join us in a sec. He's just left. My question to all the Chelsea fans that are in the chat, and even Arsenal fans, whoever. Just if we get Tony. Oh, Tony's back now. He's just coming
I don't
back
know what
in.
happened there, mate.
That's all right. You probably just my question. I was just about to say, Tone, is that really for me? I think personally now for Tuchel, he's got to hit the ground running, because if he doesn't, there's going to be a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
hardcore fans out there. Obviously, Lampard through and
yeah,
through. If he doesn't do the job and get you up to the top in that top 4 this season, I fear a lashback for him, because obviously, people will be shouting, well, we should have give Lampard more time. Do you know what I mean? He got these players in, blah, 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 because of who Lampard is at the club, if you know what I mean. If it was another manager who didn't have a connection with Chelsea, then yeah, I wouldn't see a problem. But, because of Lampard, his stature,
yeah. But you
he's
see the problem.
see. Go on, mate.
Well, yes.
Yeah, go on, Tone. Answer that question, mate.
Well, it was well. Lampard, being the Chelsea manager, went against the grain of the whole philosophy. Yeah, the philosophy of the way Chelsea work as a football club, the whole Lampard as being manager thing, never really looked like it was a Chelsea decision, didn't it? You know, it was on the emotion. Let's be fair. He'd finished one season as a manager of Derby County.
Mm.
Yeah, to the playoff final. Terry, the building on you and me. I lost you completely in that decision. You know, in terms of the fact that that's how we do things. Normally, we bring in iconic managers with a history and a badge and a pedigree and a CV as long as anything, and it's sink or swim. Listen, mate, there's your players. Get on with it. We expect results. We expect still never really blooded the kids because no manager's ever thought we could take that risk. It's all
Yeah.
about 3 points and winning and trophies and everything else. But Frank wasn't really under that pressure. And even this season, really, I never thought he was under that much pressure either. But obviously, I think something is not right, Terry, if I'm brutally honest. And maybe the club have picked up on that, or maybe Petty Cech has, picked up on something and something within the club. A bit like David Luiz. I mean, did you know that Lampard had a big fallout with? Well, it was actually Luiz had a big fallout with Jody Morris. Did you know that?
No, no.
Do you know that's the reason why Luiz ended up coming to you? It
Oh
weren't
no,
like
I
we
didn't
had
know that.
decided to ship him out. So it was an old, that went on that decision,
Y-
and maybe something like that. Who knows? But all I know, Terry, is it's not right. Then they're not. Yeah. So find this now, Terry. Moving at all, mate.
Tone, just quickly drop out and come back
Can
in,
you hear
Tone,
me
because you're
okay, bud?
lagging. Can you hear me, Tone? Just drop out and come back in, mate, because you're
Okay.
lagging. You're lagging a bit.
Drop. Okay, drop it out. Drop it out.
Yeah, no problem, mate. No problem. Look, just for me, like I said, I think personally, I think they should have given Frank Lampard at least to the end of the season. But sometimes you got to jump on the ship if a manager comes available. That's certainly what Arsenal hasn't done when we needed to get rid of managers. But me personally, as an Arsenal fan, I'm an Arteta in. Tony's just coming back. Let's see if we can. We're just
I
waiting
should
for
be there
Tony.
now, mate. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's your video. You ain't on, but we can hear you at the moment. So when you can, try and get your camera on, mate. But yeah. So
It's
moving
strange, isn't it?
forward, moving
Strange.
forward, Tone. What's your expectations now that Tuchel comes in? What are you expecting that he's got to get top four? Can you hear me, Tone?
A lot of clubs involved. It goes all the way down the page, doesn't it? Let's be fair. I mean, Manchester United have come out of nowhere, when I actually thought maybe they were one that might miss out in the top four position right at the start of the season. I thought we'd nick
Yeah,
it. Maybe Spurs will get that fourth one, or maybe it'll be a tussle between Spurs and United. But Man United have kind of like made that position their own. You have to say Liverpool and Man City, I don't think they're going to drop enough points to see them outside of the four. So there's one spot available. And that's Tottenham, Chelsea, Wolves. Who's there? Southampton, Leicester. Forget about them. And they're in great nick. There's lots of clubs. West Ham, even Arsenal. It's not beyond anyone tells. That's the. So whether he'll get judged on that, I don't know. I think it was in control at the start of the season. That's the beauty of this now. With Lampard gone, there's that whole emotional thing being taken away completely. Just like
yeah,
anybody else that's going to be judged on results and not judged on results, but it's Frank. So, we go back to being Chelsea again, I guess. This is Chelsea again, isn't it? And we are ruthless. We are. This is the way we operate as a football club. We're like no other. You can criticise it, you can knock it, but nothing will take away the style of Roman and the way he works and he operates. He's a winner, mate. You ain't got time to fuck about. You know, he's you know, that's the way. There's that thing. You know, whenever you hear a Chelsea player interviewed after a game, result or bad, they always say the same. This is Chelsea. You know, and that's just the way we operate. Like, you know, Tony, I don't think you can include Wolves. No, probably, yeah. I don't know. It's very tight, isn't it? You know,
Yeah, we've got a question on the system of Destruct. A good question here. He said Tuku seems a short-term replacement. His record are underwhelming, to be honest. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, he won everything there was to win for Paris. All right, you could argue that most managers would go in and do the same thing. But he was the last manager to win a trophy for Dortmund.
Mm-hmm.
He won over the cup, didn't he? There, and he's a good tactician. You know. Do you know? I don't know, and you might be right. You might be right. You know what I mean? Club John Terry. I think Frank could have done with John in the background. You know that with defensively and just that. You know that. Come on. Because I don't think we've got any leaders, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I say, he has chopped and changed with that side, and a lot of youngsters, you know. And your experience tells you can ride the waves, you know what I mean? And but yeah,
You're breaking up again, Tone. Another question for you, mate.
Listen, it's a sad day, but it's like we have to, you know, it's and it's a very league this year where I don't Can you hear me okay? I've got no idea why this is played up like this. Is it your Intel? You know?
No. We've got Claude who's on just voice at the moment. He's just about to join us. How you doing, Claude? We haven't let people know how you're doing, mate.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, not too bad. How Tony? How are you, mate? I hope you're well. Yeah, I just
it's not me.
Before I come on and say a few words.
Oh, here he is, the voice of reason. He didn't sound too clever earlier on. I was speaking to him earlier.
Yeah, I come on and say a few things. I think it shows what a ruthless club Chelsea are. Very ruthless.
Not very well at all, mate. You know what I mean?
They've come on and done the job. They've done the business tonight. You know, this is not good enough. They set standards, and unfortunately, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, go on, Claude. Carry on.
Unfortunately, Frank's inexperienced. I don't know if he's inexperienced. I think he done well in the first season but I think the problem with Frank is that he came in with a lot of players, big pressure with a lot of top players coming in, and I don't think he could handle the pressure. And it's too big a job for him, and his inexperience has come on, and unfortunately, Chelsea in the position they have had to act, and I think they've done the right thing. In the end.
You don't think it's come too quick, Claude?
No, I don't. I think you've got to make these decisions. I think this is that's how a big club has to act. You know, let's have a look at it. In the situation that they're in, there's still hope. They're still in the Champions League, and I think with a man like Tuchel, tactically they can still have a good chance, good run in that competition, and that's their only real saviour now. Top four is still on because they can still get run together under a coach that understands that the players that he's got in front of him. I think with Carl Havertz, Tino Werner, these players will respond to Tuchel better than they did to Frank. And I think that's the reason they've done that's right what they have done. And they've acted like a big club. And there's no what's the process here at the bridge, mate.
So just quickly before I bring Tony back in, Claude, I mean, are you blaming it all down to Frank then, or is it not the players too? I mean, because Werner has missed a lot of open goals this season. I mean, if he scored a few of them open goals, then Chelsea would be right up there in the title race. I mean, that's not down to Frank for Werner missing in the open goals. It's not down to Frank that Ziyech has come in and not done the business.
No, I just feel that I think with Frank, certain these players have not got the same respect that they will have for a coach that's been in the game, that's done it, has actually got the experience an elite coach has got. And that is the problem. See, this is the problem with the players. It's very difficult. The bloke has got hardly any experience. He's come 1 year at Derby and he's come into a massive football club and it's just not working. And someone like Tuchel or I think it's going to be Tuchel will get these players working better on the pitch. And you could even look at Werner's positioning on the pitch for Chelsea. I thought he's not been playing that out of position, hasn't he, this season? He's not really played in a proper position. And I think this Tuchel will get the best out of him and Kyle Havertz. And also bring along these players. And to tell you what, I was watching yesterday, that Billy Gilmore, what an outstanding talent he is. An outstanding talent, and those players need to develop. And this is what this is what I want to see in my football club. Someone that knows what they're doing with these players. So this is where when you're at a big club, you need elite coaches, and elite coaches will get you where you want to be. Unfortunately, Frank Lampard is not got that experience yet. He may come back in a few more years' time with another learn another club, get the experience, and then maybe become a better manager. But at this present moment, he's not in that great top grade of coaches that can get on with the job.
But like I said, I don't know if you heard at the beginning, Claude. My only problem with this is that none of these coaches wanted to take the job.
You could be very super critical of Frank Lampard.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry, can you hear me okay, guys? Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Carry on,
mate. You could be super critical of Frank on a number of things, whereas he has chopped and changed that side for 2 seasons now. For example, we stuck too long with Kepa in goal. He was given the benefit of the doubt on too many occasions. And then you've got the whole Aspilicueta and Reece James scenario where it's in, out, shake it all about. And then the whole thing, as you say, with Billy Gilmore, all right, he was injured, but now you've got the dilemma that he is available to play. So Juninho drops. Do you play N'Golo Kante? He seems to always play Mason Mount. Whereas if you was to look at our side when we signed Kai Havertz, most of us would have thought Havertz will play the 8, Werner will play Kovacic, and the 2 wide men, Pulisic, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi, wherever, would fill in accordingly. But he hasn't. He's chopped and changed the whole thing throughout. It's never been the same team. The back 4, for example, has been a combination probably 8 times because he's gone with Rudy and Zuma and Silva and Christensen with Zuma and Christensen with Rudy and Silva with Christensen. Do you see what I'm saying? And you have to have some kind of settled side, especially at the back. And as I say, tactically, we made the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over again last year. And you thought when these players were bought this season, that was definitely going to solve the issues because all those chances we created, players that are going to finish. You know what I mean? So all these issues are going to be ironed out, and we're going to be a far better side. And I have to say, even though we went on that incredible run, I don't think that we were really particularly fantastic on the eye. I thought we were very lucky against West Ham. 3-0 result was extremely flattering. I thought even the first game of the season, we was away at Brighton, we won that right until the end. I don't think we've been, sort of in any great shape really all season. I think we've been, I would say disappointing, but definitely playing within ourselves. And the trouble when you've got kids, and there are all kids, including the new signings, they need an arm around them. They're going to. It's all about confidence. It's all about the mindset. And they hate experience. Older man, Frank hasn't. Management's not dealing with one player, is it? It's about dealing with a multitude of player personalities. That's a different, complex situation to just explaining how football should be played on the board tactically. It's a lot you have to take into consideration.
Oh, Tony's just gone off. So go on, Crawl.
So what? I was saying, Chelsea, of course, have lost a lot of big characters over the last few years in their lineup. If you look at their spine, used to be Lampard. It used to be Czech. If you look, excuse me, 1 minute. I think that's Tony's back. Is Tony back?
He's coming back.
Chelsea
I am back. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I've got no idea why.
Anyway, what's happened is Chelsea have lost, like Arsenal, have lost a lot of big characters. They had the spine. They had Czech, Terry, Lampard. These players like Drogba up front. They had all these characters. They're all leaders on the pitch, and they don't have that now. They've got a lot of great individual players that are bedded into the football club, which is a lot different. But that's when you need an experienced guy. I think Frank should have gone down the way Terry went, down the route John Terry went, gone beside another experienced coach. He'd done that, and then maybe develop from there. I think what John Terry has done is the right thing, whereas Frank has jumped in straight in. And you can't just jump into one of the biggest clubs in England at the moment and expect results to happen. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's like Arteta. Sorry, I'm going to say this, Terry, again. I'm going to reiterate. I know you disagree with me, but for me, Arteta should never have got the Arsenal job in the first place because he's not got the experience to do that job.
Arteta and Frank are two different people at the moment. What I mean by this is Frank was the only manager that took that job at the time at Chelsea, right? None of these experienced managers wanted to take the job at Chelsea, which they could have done because of the transfer embargo. They knew that they couldn't go there.
That was a problem. That's a problem. Yeah, that was a big problem.
Hold up. I mean, for 2 years they had to sit there basically and just work with that team, right? They had to work with that team. They didn't want to do it. Now, this is what I mean by why don't great managers come into clubs like this and do something like that from the start? Why do they have to wait? Right? Why do these managers, these experienced so-called managers, if they've got all this experience, knowledge, right, why do they have to wait until they've got the money to go out and buy their own players? Why can't they work with players that are already there? Why can't they work with?
Just everyone.
This is what I mean.
Drifting in and out.
A lot of Chelsea fans, right, are going to remember this. This is what I mean. And this is what I was trying to say to Tony earlier on. Right? If it comes to the end of this season and they don't get top four, I think a lot of Chelsea fans will be angry at this choice. I mean, this is only hypothetical at the moment because we don't know what, obviously, Chelsea or Tuchel's going to do when he comes.
You know what I would have done? You know what I would have done if I
Go on,
was
mate.
in Chelsea's position? I would have got someone like just an interim manager till the end of the season, like Rafa Benitez, to smooth it down a bit, like they done last time.
Mhm.
Smooth it down, and then bring in Tuchel maybe at the end of the season.
Mhm.
But they've had to act and act quickly. But
Yeah, but
listen,
you say that to act, Claude. You say that to act. If Man U have acted when all the Man U fans wanted Ollie out, they possibly wouldn't be top right now.
yeah, but you see,
You know, you got
I
to be
think,
careful.
but I think with Manchester United, all right. I'm not being funny. I think they've got a lot of great individual players, and I think United at the moment are going on a lot of players hitting the right notes at the right time. I'm not sure whether United will be still up there come the end of the season.
No,
They're
I totally
relying on individuals to get them out of games. I think if you took Pogba and you took, Bruno Fernandes out of the side, I think they'll be. I don't think they'll be up in where they are at the moment. But these players have just dug them out with incredible moments in games. It's like I think. How can I say it? It's like off the cuff football. They've got. They've been getting well. And let's be honest with you. United have got a lot of talented players as well. They've got a lot of talent, but the players that really make them tick are Pogba and Fernandes, Bruno Fernandes as well. You took them two out the side, and I think they wouldn't be so high up in the league. But that's you could say that about it. But what I'm trying to say is with Ollie, let's wait till the end of the season where they finish before we judge Ollie. But yeah, he's done really well. But you could see Chelsea. I think the last time I see Chelsea play well, Tony might back me up on this, was the Leeds game when they beat Leeds. I think that since that Leeds game, they've been poor. But then Leeds allow you to play. Leeds do allow you to play. So I think I just feel that they needed a change. Me, myself, I would have got someone like Benitez till the end of the season and then appointed a manager straight away. Then he's got the whole summer to look at what's going on, and then he can get his players that he needs. I don't think he needs that much surgery. I think it's just he will maybe want to move one or two on and bring one or two in. But that's how I would see it. Listen, boys, I'm struggling at the moment. Yeah, thanks for having me on, and hope to see you all soon. Yeah.
Claude, look, listen, mate, get yourself much better, mate, and we can hear it in your voice that you're still really feeling not well and that. So just get better, mate, and come back as quick as possible because we're missing you. Yeah.
Yeah. Take care, everyone, and speak to you soon. Yeah.
Thanks, Claude. Thanks, mate. Oh, and Tony's gone. I don't know if he's gone for good or he might be back. Let's just wait, give it a couple of minutes. If not, then we'll go from there. But look, Chelsea have made a statement. Obviously, is it the right statement? We won't know. Tony's back. Tone, we go. Can you hear me, Tone? Can you hear me, Tone?
You all right, Terry?
Yeah. What we do is
Terry?
we go for another 5 more minutes. Tone,
Yeah,
can you hear me?
I can, mate. I cannot understand this internet today, mate. This internet is the worst I've ever had in my life doing a stream.
It always
I'm
always
really
happens.
sorry, guys.
That's all right, mate. Not a problem. Just
Yes,
quickly
buddy.
sum up your last thoughts. Quickly sign up.
Hopefully.
Give us your last thoughts on the situation.
Yes,
Can you
mate.
hear me? I said, just give us your final thoughts on the actual situation and moving forward, Tone.
Right. Yeah, last thoughts as far as, okay, from a Chelsea perspective, right, love Frank Lamb. Yeah, no problem, buddy. Right, we love Frank Lampard, so today is obviously sad day of who it is and what it is. And it was always going to be a sad day, whether it was after a year after it. So we have to put because of who he is, what he is, and everything else. It's not we are a football club winning, and that's our philosophy, our DNA, which wants it. And it's been a very hard decision why he's put out a statement. Roman, a very, very private man. He doesn't do interviews, doesn't speak, doesn't out statements. Absolutely fuck all. Yeah.
Oh, he's gone again. Look, what we're going to do is we will be back at 6 o'clock tonight with Kenny Ken, another great man, and we'll be talking about this a lot more further in detail. Tone, you've gone again. Can you hear me? I was just saying, Tone, that we're going live again at 6 p.m. And
Yeah.
Kenny Ken will be on. So if you can jump on then, if you get a chance to, you're more than welcome to, Tone. And if you want, we can go live on.
Chuck me on then. Chuck me on.
Yeah. All right. What we do is we go live at 6 p.m.
I'll go out into the car. Yeah, I'll go out in the car.
All right, mate. So 6 o'clock. That's when we're going to be on. We're going to be talking about this a bit more in depth. Diesel will be on, me, myself, and Kenny Ken, and we go live at 6 o'clock.
Anyway, much respect to everyone out there, Chelsea fans and Arsenal fans, and
brilliant, Tone. So what we're doing now is we'll end it there. Thank you very much, everyone, and we will see you at 6 p.m. tonight. Don't forget, everyone, please go and like the video on Claude Panthers YouTube, on Chelsea's SW6 YouTube channel, and don't forget to like our Facebook pages, and we will see you at 6 p.m. tonight. Yeah? Thank you very much.
Yes.
See you all soon.
Yeah. Much love.